Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Anita.
Anita who?
I need another minute to think about it, Ken.
What does that got to do with Father's Day?
It's a dad joke.
Oh. Hi, and welcome to Crafts by Two. I'm Ken.
And I'm George. And today we build on last month's wreath video with a Father's Day wreath card. Last month was Mother's Day. This month is Father's Day.
So, is that why there's tools? It's building on it?
Yes. And a wood floor, Ken.
Oh.
And I used some kind of rustic, masculine-looking twine. And to hold it up on the inside, a saw. Isn't it cool? Pop it up like that.
And it doesn't have to be rustic, and you don't have to use the tools, but in this example we did.
Why wouldn't you use tools? It's adorable.
But they can make it as elegant or as rustic or as cool as they want.
Yep, they could even use the flowers from Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Dad likes flowers. Maybe he's a horticulturalist. Horticulturalist.
You almost got it.
Yeah, almost. So I'm going to jump in and show him how I did it.
Okay.
So here we have everything already cut out to put our card together. We have our 4 background pieces that I cut out of blue. These will help make our wreath a little bit thicker and more sturdy. The front, I'm going to use this blue wood textured paper. So this kind of looks like a wood floor, very masculine. And I cut the background out of a darker blue, and this circle goes on the base, and that's what you write your salutation on. So we're going to do this wreath just like we did last month's wreath. So we're going to do this card just like we did the card last month. We're going to come up through one of the holes in the bottom and pull the twine almost all the way through. Leave a little tail on the back, and then just take some Scotch tape and cover it to hold it in place. Oops. It helps, George, if you actually get the twine under the Scotch tape. So I'm going to put the twine down again and put the Scotch tape down. You want to be careful not to cover any of the other holes. Then you are going to count 32 holes over and go into the 33rd hole. Hopefully, if you're a patron of ours, you have this from last month. This is our Easy Cheater disc, and it counts for you. So I know I come up out of this one and I go into this hole. And then you can just slide the template off and you don't need it anymore. So there's the first stitch for our wreath. This is just one sheet of 80-pound cardstock that I've printed on, which is kind of a little bit flimsy, not very flimsy, but when we start to do needlework on it, it will bow and bend. So we're going to stack 3 other pieces of 80-pound cardstock onto the back of it to make it a little bit thicker and give it some resilience. So we're going to do this just like we did last month. So if you're unsure or you missed out on last month's video, you're going to want to jump over to that video to see how we finish the front of this card, and then come back here and I'll show you how to add a new embellishment around the outside. So there, we finished our stitching around the wreath, and the wreath is complete. Except now, because of this type of wreath that we're doing, that it won't have a lot of flowers or anything around the edges to cover up the edge, I'm going to go through and put a back stitch, which I've already started right here, which kind of gives the wreath a nice outside edge, whereas this is kind of like faded. This will give it a nice solid edge. So I'm just going to go through along the bottom. You come up out of one hole and then go back to the last hole that you just came out of. And you just put a stitch in between each hole from one to the other. So we're going to come up out of one ahead and back into the previous one that we just came out of. And I'm just going to do that all the way around the card. So I'm going to fast forward that so you guys don't have to sit through me doing that. There, that's our last stitch around the outside. So we did the long stitches like we did on the Mother's Day card, and then we did an additional stitch along the outside. It kind of gives the wreath an embossed look. So this is what the back of the card looks like, and I'm just going to take the thread that's left over and just weave it in and out a couple times on the back and knot it so it stays. There. And then take your scissors and cut it. Don't forget to take your excess off your needle and put it through something so you don't lose it. I put mine through this little piece of cardstock. I set it over to the side. Then I take my Scotch tape and I tape it down like that. And then another small piece and bend it back and tape it down again. So there's the front of our card. Now, let me get the other pieces. And these are pieces that we already cut and they're scored, so let me fold them on the score lines that we made. My bone folder. And this is where we're going to write a salutation. And this is actually scrap left over from when I was doing some other work. I did a mandala, but you can't see the mandala through the cardstock. So why waste good white cardstock? You're just gonna use your tape, put that there. And then this we're going to put up here, but I think what I want to do, you're going to attach it to just this part. So the wreath is going to go here. And then when you open the card, the wreath will pop up like that. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is use a bunch of Fun Stamper's Journey double-sided tape. Ken and I love this tape. And then I'm going to hold my finger on the edge and push it down. There. I think that worked well. There. Ta-da! So what we're going to put inside to hold the card open, on the Mother's Day card we had a little banner. I'm going to use the saw on this one. And I have trusty foam dots here. I'm just going to use a bunch of them and put them on the saw. That looks good. And peel off the backing. And I'm going to put this. Let's see where this is going to fall. I'm going to put this right here. So that way it'll hold open the card. And then I have my Happy Father's Day here. So let me close it. Our Happy Father's Day in the cute wood font. And then we have, let me get the rest of these over here. We have some tools and Dad's toolbox. So I'm just going to use some art glitter glue on the back of these to attach them to the twine. I'm going to put a liberal amount on, so when you put it down on the twine, it's going to adhere to it. Okay, and then we got a clamp. I'm going to put the clamp like here. And actually, let me do Happy Father's Day first before I go any further. I'm just taking the glue and dotting it around the back, making little pools of glue. So like I said, when I push it down into the twine, there's enough glue that it will stick into the twine. There. That's a good amount. I'm just going to flip it over and push it into the twine. You can push it down onto the cardstock too if you want to. I'm going to put the hammer on. Now you don't have to put all the tools on. You can only have to put the tools that you want to put on, and you don't have to put them all on the wreath if you don't want to. You can put them on the card in the center if you want to, like that. Then we have a couple wrenches. There we go. There's your Happy Father's Day card with the same wreath that we used for Mother's Day.
So that looked fun.
It was. That's what I like about the needlework cards that we do, Ken. They're relaxing and they're fun.
Cool.
So this builds on last month's video with the wreath card for Mother's Day. We just added a stitch around the outside because with this type of thread, it's harder to see the wreath shape. And I think doing a stitch along the outside really enforces that circle around it.
Plus, it's showing how there's different techniques you can do.
Yep. So we have different files that we're giving away. Why don't you show them, Ken? For the public, we're giving away the base card with the 4 layers of needlework, Happy Father's Day, the tools and toolbox in blue, and a printable digital paper 6x6 for you to cut out one of the needlework layers so the front of your card will have that wooden look on it. For our Patron Plus members, we're giving away everything that we're giving to the public, plus Happy Father's Day, the tools and toolkit in yellow, in case blue's not your dad's favorite. We're also giving away the stitch guide, which shows you how many holes to start and stop at on your first stitch.
So you don't have to count out 32.
Yeah, because you don't ever get the same count. I learned that the hard way. In our Patron Prime level, you get everything. We have Happy Father's Day, the tools and toolkit in 16 different colors, as well as everything else, and an envelope that will hold the wreath card.
That's cool. So it's everything you need.
Right, and they get that not only in SVG form or PNG for the printables, but in the Silhouette Studio and Brother Canvas workspace file formats.
So the different files are how we give back to our supporters on Patreon. We really appreciate everything they do to help us make more videos.
Yes, we do. So portions of this video were brought to you by patrons like these. So that's another one in the can.
Yay.
Can.
Yeah, like I haven't heard that.
So until next week. Ooh, don't forget, next Monday we have a Make It Monday.
On Facebook Live.
Right. With Queen & Company's Under the Sea Kit. Join us, bring some coffee, get your Under the Sea Kit, and we'll all craft together.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye. So that looked fun.
It was easy too. That's what I like about the...
So that looked fun.
Oh, give me a minute. Boogie.
So the different packages for our patrons is how we give back to our supporters who help support us.
Supporters help support.